My name is Kyle Yearwood, aka the Architect of Realities, and I am a visual artist. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. One short sentence. I'm 30. I'm about to be 30. Growing up in Baltimore for me was actually good. I had a great upbringing in terms of my family and my parents. My mom is actually a retired Baltimore City public school teacher, so she really cultivated a love for storytelling in me. And my dad is actually a multi-business owner here in Baltimore, so I really get my hardworking attitude from him. But outside of my family and my home, I really dealt with inner struggles. So I had to overcome shyness and really figure out how I wanted to express myself. And overall, growing up, I really just had to learn and figure out who I was because there wasn't that many examples in my environment. If I'm being honest, the only thing that I miss about my childhood is not having bills. Literally, being an adult is an amazing opportunity to create your own lifestyle with your will and your intention. But you also have to pay the bills. So you really have to take life seriously and really be on your A game so that you can live a successful life. I think the greatest life lesson that I've learned on my journey is that this is a journey, and most of it is a journey inside. For me, my growth has always been an internal process, dealing with my trauma, dealing with past experiences, and really looking in the mirror to figure out who I am. That's definitely the greatest lesson that I've learned, is that you have to go inside and really reflect and meditate and learn from within. Because if your inner world is great, then your outer world will be great. My artwork is all about self-love and self-empowerment. When I got started creating artwork, I mainly did self-portraits. And that was because I didn't have anyone to take photos of at the time. But really, my ideas come from my personal healing journey. So everything that I've been through and that I've got through always sparked the idea. And I'm able to use my art to share that message, to share that lesson, and really empower others the same way I empowered myself. When I got to Morgan State in 2009, I really didn't have a creative or artistic background. So it took me to change my major 4 different times until I came across the SWAN program, the screenwriting and animation program here. And I was just blown away by the fact that you could really have a career and make a living telling stories, where you can do visual art, where you could do videography, editing, special effects, and animation. I really just fell in love with the combination of storytelling and technology. So I really didn't have that artistic background, but I really found my home as a filmmaker, as a visual artist, and as a storyteller. I had 2 brothers that came to Morgan State University, and really it was the best option for me and the most convenient option. And I also was able to get a full scholarship. I was a Calvin and Tina Tyler scholar, so this was definitely the best opportunity for me to be able to not only pay for school, but travel back and forth, and it was close to home. I really have my experience at Morgan to thank for really allowing me to figure out who I am. Like I said, I started off as a business major, transitioned into computer science, to broadcast journalism, to finally finding film. And that's where I finally found my tool that I wanted to use to express myself. So if it wasn't for Morgan and this process of trying things and taking classes and learning, I wouldn't be who I am today without that experience. So for me, it was definitely great. Now, I worked full-time my whole time I was in college here, so I didn't really take advantage of all of the extracurricular activities, but I got the experience that I needed, and more than anything, I figured out who I was here. So that to me was well worth it. As an artist and creative, I pull from a lot of different places, like Romare Bearden, to modern artists like our X-Man, and I just pull from a lot of different places, from Afrofuturism to surrealism to collage to animation in 3D. But really, in terms of my ideas and when I express myself, my greatest ideas come from my highest self, the vision that I have of myself when I'm at my best, when I'm at my most powerful. And that really inspires me to work towards and create from that vision of myself. Ever since I graduated from Morgan, I've been working here part-time, giving back to the students, teaching them how to operate cameras, and really just help out how I can as a staffer here. And that for me has been the most rewarding, because outside of here, I express myself, I tell my story, and I'm able to make a living as an artist, but I'm also able to come back here and give back to the college that really made me, and speak to the students who really need that guidance. I know when I was here, I wish somebody would have told me to just go after what I truly wanted. And, I really enjoy being able to really push and guide students toward their wildest dreams. For me, the major difference between being in college and life after college is no one tells you what to do. You don't get assignments. The only assignments that you get after college is the assignments that life gives you. So it's definitely a major leap in transition in terms of maturing and becoming an adult. So I guess I can kind of miss that not immaturity, but that sort of carefree attitude that I sort of had in college. But now I'm just way more focused and serious, and really setting my intention on how I want to live my life and doing the best that I can on the assignments that life gives me. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned at Morgan was actually how I learn. It wasn't until I got here that I really learned how to follow along with tutorials and practice my craft. So that was really, really valuable. Ever since I came here, I've been able to take the skill sets that I've learned here and continue to teach myself. So now I'm on a never-ending process of learning, because I learned how to learn here. Morgan and the SWAN program specifically has definitely afforded me a lot of opportunities. As soon as I graduated, I was able to get a full-time, high-paying job doing videography and editing for Maryland's Transit Administration. And after that, I've been able to work here and make a living part-time as well. And my mentor, the director of the SWAN program, Keith Mellinger, he always is hyping me up and shouting me out. So I'm always getting opportunities through him. So it's definitely a valuable relationship between me and Morgan. Life immediately after graduation is just a moment of confusion, freedom, and bewilderment, I would say, because it's just like you kind of have to figure out and decide how you want to now make a living. And like I said, no one is telling you what to do anymore. So it's definitely a process. For me, one of the first things I did was I took a road trip from Baltimore all the way to LA. And that was definitely an enlightening journey for me. And ever since then, I've just been on this path of expressing myself, healing, sharing my message, and continuing to give back to the world, to the students here at Morgan, and to myself. So my road trip from Baltimore to LA was intended to be a one-way trip. I was gonna pack up and just live in California for the rest of my life. Really because I wanted to chase my dreams and just be in that sunny, beautiful land. But the road trip actually turned out to be a healing journey where I fasted for a couple weeks, and it was really just eye-opening. I learned a lot about myself, just hiking and rock climbing and doing all types of things that I've never done, and seeing things and going places that I've never been. So for me, I would definitely encourage everyone to just get out and travel the world, at least take a road trip across the nation if you can, because when you get out of your familiar surroundings, you get to see yourself from new perspectives, and that for me was very eye-opening. I don't necessarily have one project, but I have a series, and that series is my self-portrait series, which I've been working on since I was a senior here at Morgan. And with my self-portraits, I try to take myself and my environment and create new realities where anything is possible and where I can do anything, where I could be as magical, as powerful, as creative and gifted and talented as I want to be. So for me, that series, that project is very, very important to not only the world because of the empowerment and the messages that I input into it, but also to myself because I have a record. I have something to look at to show that I'm growing, that I'm expanding, and I'm able to see my imagination come into reality. In 5 years, I see myself on a whole nother level in terms of my financial status. I really want to become serious about my artistic business and how I handle myself as an artist. I really want to get paid well for my artistry, and from that I'll be able to travel the world and really promote and spread my message even further. So 5 years from now, it's just a whole nother level in terms of lifestyle, but most importantly, just more healing, more learning, more expansion, more ascension, more enlightenment, and just being able to help more and more people. My advice to all Morgan students is to take advantage of the opportunities that are present. Take every assignment that you get seriously, because I'm all about habits, right? And if you make a habit out of always doing your best, that habit will carry you forth into your life after college. And if you have that habit, you'll be able to be very, very successful. So just think about what you're doing now as a college student and what habits can you form and set so that your life after college can be a lot more easier and more successful. If I had to come up with 3 words to describe myself, it would definitely be powerful, valuable, and magical. The best place to keep up with my story and my artworks is to really just follow me on Instagram at Kyle.Yearwood. And that's where I share all of my work for free, all of my messages for free. And I really just use that as a platform to communicate with the world. So, of course, I have a website coming and I have different things going on. But really, if you just follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to follow the trail of all my other things that I have going on. I'm Kyle Yearwood, aka the Architect of Realities. Thank you for getting to know me.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay.